Hello, this is Shankar Reddy, lecturer in political science from Government Junior College for Girls, Maratpalli, Secunderabad. Now we are going to discuss about the model paper for the second year civics is released by Board of Intermediate officially. In previous classes, we covered some of the important questions as essay 1. Now the next essay question is that explain the powers and functions of Parliament of India. So this is comes from the third chapter of the second year political science, that is civics. We also expected this one as essay 1, 10 marks one. This is the 10 marks one. So you have to write this one with the introduction, a small introduction, as well as powers and functions of Parliament of India. Let us try to understand introduction of Parliament of India. You know that the Parliament of India is deliberative house. It's a lawmaking body in India. The supreme lawmaking body of India is called as Parliament of India. So we adapted parliamentary form of government. Understood? Both the national level as well as state level. Here the Parliament of India is the responsible to make laws for the development of India. So this is called supreme lawmaking body in the Indian government. That means in union government. Okay. Then we have to write this one as introduction of Parliament of India. Our Parliament of India adopted bicameral system. Bicameral system. The bicameral system means the legislature, nothing but the Parliament of India, which is having two chambers, two houses. One is upper house, another one is lower house. Upper house and lower house. Upper house of the Parliament of India is called as Rajya Sabha. Lower house of the Parliament of India is called as Lok Sabha. So this is called bicameral system of Parliament of India. Understood? Our Parliament of India contains both the Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. Understood? This you have to mention in the introduction part. So here after this you have to go with the powers and functions of Parliament of India. Understood? The powers and functions. Powers and functions of Parliament of India. So listen, the Parliament of India, supreme lawmaking body, enjoys some powers and functions. Here already we clearly explained in previous classes as the regular sessions. Now we are discussing under the model paper only. Here how to write the examination for this question actually. What is the content of the answer we are explaining here. That's why I'm focusing the important points of the answer. Understood? I'm not giving the full-fledged information regarding to the powers and functions. Okay? That's why you have to concentrate. For more clarity, you have to concentrate on the previous, right? The powers and functions of the Parliament of India. The Parliament of India having legislative powers. The next one, executive powers. And third one, financial powers. Fourth one, constitutional amendment powers. Amendment powers. Fifth one, judicial powers. Sixth one, electoral powers. And finally, deliberative powers. Other miscellaneous powers and functions. Understood? The Parliament of India enjoys the legislative powers, executive powers, financial powers, constitutional amendment powers, judicial powers, electoral powers, deliberative powers. Understood? Let us try to understand one by one. So legislative powers of the Parliament of India is nothing but what type of legislative lawmaking powers enjoyed by Parliament of India you have to mention. Under these legislative powers, we have to mention what kind of lawmaking powers on what matters the Parliament of India have the power to make laws. You have to explain. Understood? So here you have to mention the first segment is that the Parliament of India is supreme lawmaking body in the central government. The central level, the supreme lawmaking body is called as Parliament of India. It is the primary duty of Parliament of India. Lawmaking is the primary duty of Parliament of India. How to mention the lawmaking process. The lawmaking is the primary duty, primary function of the Parliament of India. You have to mention this also. At the same time, on what matters the Parliament of India has the power to make laws. So you have to mention here the Parliament of India has the power to make laws on union list. On what matters? The matters which are included in union list, and then concurrent list, and finally some occasions at the time of emergency on the state list also, the Parliament of India has the power to make laws. Understood? The Parliament of India have legislative powers. They are the primary basic powers of the Parliament of India because lawmaking is the basic power of the Parliament of India. That's why it is supreme lawmaking body. The Parliament of India has the power to make laws on subjects of union list, on the subjects of concurrent list, along with the states, and also in some emergency conditions, the Parliament of India has the power to make laws on state list also. This is the one segment of the legislative powers of Parliament of India. And moreover, after the approval of Parliament of India, both houses only, the bill can be considered as law only. That means each and every bill of the Parliament can be approved by both houses of Parliament of only. Then the bill sent to the final assent of the President of India. Understood? After the approval of both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it will send to the President of India final assent. That's why no bill can be sent to the President of India without approval of Parliament of India. Understood? So this is the one point you have to mention. At the time of the President of India, sometimes he may send back to the bill Parliament of India. At the time the Parliament reconsider the bill and changes placed sometimes, and sometimes no changes also placed. The bill is sent to the President of India by Parliament of India. That's why at the time of sent back to the Parliament of India for reconsideration, the Parliament of India consider the things which are mentioned by the President of India. With the changes or without changes also, the Parliament send it to the President of India approval. If any deadlock between the two houses, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, on any bill, the President of India proclaim joint session. The President of India has the power to summon joint session. At the time also, the Parliament of India enjoyed the legislative powers. These are the legislative powers enjoyed by Parliament of India. Understood? You have to mention the legislative powers of the Parliament of India in clear manner. Then go to the executive powers. The President of India also enjoys some executive powers and functions. What are the executive powers? Executive powers are nothing but controlling powers. Controlling powers. So who control to whom here? The legislature controls executive. Because we adopted parliamentary form of government. In this parliamentary form of government, the executive, nothing but the government, directly responsible to the lower house of the parliament, nothing but the Lok Sabha. Executive must be responsible for their commission and omission to the Lok Sabha. That's why parliamentary form of government also known as responsible form of government. Understood? That's why here executive is directly responsible to the lower house of parliament, that is Lok Sabha. That's why here the legislature enjoy some controlling power on executive for introducing the motions, different motions such as cut motions, no confidence motions. Understood? So adjournment motions, such a motions proclaimed or introduced by legislature against the executive activities. With this, the parliament, with this cut motion, adjournment motion, no confidence motion, the parliament has the power to control over the executive. Control over the executive. Understood? So control over the executive is nothing but the executive powers enjoyed by Parliament of India. Here, who control over to whom? The legislature control over to executive. So that is the one. Sometimes the Parliament of India raise the questions against the executive and also raise the supplementary questions against executive. They also included executive powers of Parliament of India. Then financial powers. After the executive powers, we have to mention financial powers. The Parliament of India also enjoying some financial powers. What type of financial powers the Parliament of India enjoys? You know that the budget which is approved by whom? Parliament of India only. With the prior permission, the finance minister introduced the budget in the lower house of Parliament first. Right? In that house, the discussions conducted and voting also conducted by Lok Sabha. Understood? That means, budget, regarding to the budget, the, what about Parliament of India has the powers. At the same time, without the approval of the Parliament of India, no single MP can be expended by executive. That means, here without the prior permission of the Parliament of India, no single MP can be expended by executive. That means, for any expenditure of the executive, the Parliament must be approved. Is it undercomes financial power? Yes, it's also undercomes financial power. Without the approval of the Parliament of India, no executive can enjoy the power to levy. That means impose the tax and change the tax and also increase the tax. That's why the Parliament of India has the power to give the permission for levy the tax and also increase the existing tax and also the change the tax slabs also. These also included the powers and functions of Parliament of India. Understood? So here you have to mention the Parliament of India have the power to introduce the budget in the Lok Sabha and also without the permission of the Parliament of India, no single MP can be expended by executive and also without the prior permission of the Parliament of India, no taxes levied and increased collected by the executive. For that, the Parliament prior permission is essential. Clear? So this is also included. And moreover, the Parliament of India maintained one more fund, that is Consolidated Fund. What is the fund? Consolidated Fund of India. Consolidated Fund of India. This is also undercomes financial powers. The Parliament of India maintained Consolidated Fund of India. This is also undercomes financial powers. After the financial powers, constitutional amendment powers also enjoyed by Parliament of India. According to the Article 368, the Parliament of India has the power to amend the Constitution. Understood? The Constitution of India gave powers to amend the Constitution to whom? Parliament of India only. He is the responsible. Parliament is the responsible to amend the Constitution. That means for any changes of the Constitution, the Parliament of India has the power to make amendments. So these amendments are included in three different categories. 2/3 majority, that means some provisions of the Parliament of India amended by special majority. Some provisions are amended with simple majority. Some provisions are amended special majority with 50% states ratification. 50% of the states ratification also essential for the amendment of the Constitution of India. Understood? According to the Article 368, our Constitution of India amending power vested with whom? Parliament of India. The Parliament of India alone has the power to do amend the Constitution of India. So according to this, there are three different procedures. For example, some provisions, the fundamental rights amended by special majority, and the formation of new states amended with simple majority. At the same time, some provisions are amended in very rigid manner. It required 2/3 special majority. At the same time, 50% of the states ratification. What kind of provisions are undercomes this provision actually, this method actually regarding to the federal nature of the India. The federal nature of India provisions amended with the approval of 50% of states and along with special majority. So these included constitutional amendment powers enjoyed by Parliament of India. Here, no state government, no state legislature can amend the Constitution of India. Only who has the power to amend the Constitution of India? Parliament of India has the power to amend the Constitution of India under Article 368. So this is called constitutional amendment powers. Okay. Then the next one, judicial powers. Okay. The Parliament of India also enjoying some judicial powers and functions. So you know that in some occasions the Parliament of India acted as judiciary. At what time the Parliament of India enjoys judiciary? You know that at the time of impeachment of the President of India, removal of the President of India, the Parliament acted as judiciary. You know that the impeachment procedure, the impeachment policy introduced in either house of the Parliament. The President impeachment policy was introduced in either house of the Parliament. At the time, one house can make inquiry on the issue of the impeachment of the President of India. Understood? And like that, impeachment of the Vice President of India also. Impeachment of the President, impeachment of the Vice President, that means removal of the President, removal of the Vice President, and also at the time of removal of Supreme Court and High Court Chief Justice and other judges, at the time of removal of Election Commissioner, Chief Election Commissioner, at the time of removal of UPSC Chairman and other members, and some other, so there are so many examples. At the time of removal of these personalities, the Parliament of India enjoys some judicial powers. So they have the power to inquire on that issue. That's why we have to understand judicial powers also enjoyed by Parliament of India. Okay? Judicial power means what? Removal powers actually. At the time of removal, the Parliament of India enjoys some of the judicial powers. At the time, it acted as judiciary. Okay? Acted as like judiciary. So this is about judicial powers. At the same time, the Parliament of India also have some electoral powers. What are the electoral powers? The electoral powers are nothing but the powers which are regarding to the election. In which elections the Parliament of India involved? The election of President of India. The election of President of India. The Parliament of India involved. You know very well. The President of India elected by Electoral College. The President of India elected by Electoral College. In that Electoral College, the Parliament also included along with the states and union territory legislative assemblies. Understood? That's why Parliament also participated in the election of President of India. At the same time, Parliament also participated in the election of Vice President of India. Vice President of Parliament also participated in the election of President as well as Vice President of India election. And then Parliament of India also participated separately in the election of Lok Sabha Speaker, and also Deputy Speaker and Rajya Sabha Chairman, Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman, Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman. Keep in mind, Lok Sabha involved in the election of Speaker and Deputy Speaker. That means Parliament participated in the election of President as well as in the election of Vice President, and Lok Sabha separately elects among them one as Speaker, another one as Deputy Speaker. Understood? And Rajya Sabha elects among them one Deputy Speaker, because the Rajya Sabha Chairman is nothing but the Vice President. He was considered as ex officio Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Understood? So this is called electoral functions or not? Yes, this one also considered as electoral powers, which is enjoyed by whom? Parliament of India. And then deliberative powers. Now, deliberative powers. The Parliament of India is considered deliberative house of the India. The Supreme Deliberative House in India, which conducted discussions on the national, international, regional issues of the India. Understood? That's why it is one platform which conducted discussions on the Indian affairs. That means matters of the India. Clear? That's why it is the platform we discussed on any matter of the India. Here we concluded the Parliament of India also having some deliberative or discussion oriented powers and functions. Clear? So these are included the powers and functions of Parliament of India. And also the Parliament of India having some miscellaneous powers and functions. Miscellaneous powers and functions. What are the miscellaneous powers and functions? Parliament of India also approved the bills regarding to the formation of new states, and also arrange the boundaries of the states, and also renames the states. At the same time, creation and abolition of the legislative councils in the states. Understood? These are the miscellaneous powers. What are the miscellaneous powers? The Parliament of India also have some miscellaneous powers and functions. What are they? Firstly, the Parliament also involved in the matters of creation of new states, because according to the Article 3, the Parliament alone has the power to create new state. The no legislature of the state enjoys this power. Only the Parliament has the power to create new state. And also Parliament of India has the power to alter the boundaries. That means alteration of the boundaries or rearrange the boundaries between the two states or more states. Also undercomes miscellaneous powers and functions. At the same time, creation of legislative council and the abolition of legislative council. Legislative council is nothing but upper house of the state legislature. For example, if you take Telangana, we have bicameral system. Lower house legislative assembly, upper house legislative council. The member of legislative council is called MLC. Understood? For creation of this upper house in the state level and also abolition of this upper house legislative council in the state level, the powers vested with whom? Parliament of India only. These included miscellaneous powers and functions of Parliament of India. We have to write like this only as 10 marks 1, as essay 1. Understood? We have to mention the small introduction. Understood? Regarding to the Parliament of India, because it's a supreme lawmaking body and so on. And also it contains the two chambers like bicameral system, upper house, lower house, nothing but you have to understand it has the power to make laws regarding to the India. The powers which are made by the Parliament of India applied throughout the India. You have to mention as introduction part. Then afterwards go with the powers and functions. In that you have to explain one by one the legislative powers, executive powers, financial powers, constitutional powers, judicial powers, electoral powers, as well as deliberative powers, nothing but the discussion powers. And finally, how to write miscellaneous powers and functions. This is about the answer of explain the powers and functions of Parliament of India as 10 marks 1. Clear? So I hope you understood. So here we are not providing the detailed answer about the Parliament of India here. As per the model paper, we explain what is the main content of the answer here only. For more details, you have to observe the previous detailed videos about the Parliament of India. Okay, thank you.